Hey guys, it's Blue Gal. YouTube's being a pain in the neck today, so I'm running a little late, and I've been on the phone all morning with Mike Huckabee, as I'm sure anybody in the Deep South that has the Super Tuesday primary tomorrow has been. He's been busy making all the robot calls that he possibly can. And yeah, so tomorrow is Super Tuesday, and I'll be voting. I was reading this article in the New York Times Magazine about women voters. Did you read this? It takes a lot to piss me off on issues of 16 ways of looking at a female voter. Okay. But, yeah, it takes a lot. While men are more likely to follow international, national, and local politics, women are more likely to attend to religion, health, and entertainment, community, culture and the arts, crime, and the weather. So, there we are. We're really interested in entertainment, true crime, and the weather, which is, I have to explain to my dad why I didn't wind up going to Smith College where his mother went. I mean, that was a legacy, and I could have gone to Smith. And when I was in 11th grade, I had to explain to my dad that I can't go to Smith because I'm a guy. Fooled myself all these years. Anyway, I had an interesting conversation with someone, with Mr. Bluegal, about, he was just saying that, oh, you know, we've never had this situation before where the spouse of a presidential candidate was actually ran for office on her own. And I said, well, you know, there is a woman who ran on her own, not for president, but for governor of Alabama. And it's such an interesting story. I thought that I would talk a little bit about it today. Lurleen Wallace, George Wallace's wife. It's a fascinating story, and I think it has some lessons for us all as we think about, you know, what is termed the Clintons. Lurleen, well, let me back up a little bit. Alabama has a rule in their constitution about term limits for governor. There are no term limits for governor of Alabama. However, at least in the 1960s, there was a rule that a governor of Alabama could not serve more than 2 consecutive terms. They could serve 2 consecutive terms and then take a break for 1 term and then run again. But you can't serve 3 consecutive terms as governor of Alabama. And George Wallace had, as of 1967, served his 2 terms, or the 66 election, I guess it was, had served his 2 terms and wanted to continue to be governor. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't get the rules changed. And so he ran his wife, Lurleen, as a surrogate. And her campaign slogan, interestingly enough, was, "I'm going to let George do it. Let George do it." That was, it was a very obvious and blatant attempt at circumventing the Constitution, state Constitution of Alabama, which needs to be circumvented, trust me, in all kinds of ways. But this was definitely political circumvention of the law. And she succeeded. She was elected, and what the public didn't know at the time, and this just goes to show you how all kinds of things have changed in politics and in the way our society runs. Things have changed for the better. Lurleen had cancer, and she had been diagnosed with cancer in 1961, and at the time, her doctor told her husband that she had cancer and didn't tell her. That's the way things were done in 1961. Just astonishing. But she was ill, and she wound up dying in office. And her lieutenant governor, who took over for her, was Albert Brewer, who is still alive today. He was a liberal Democrat, and not what George Wallace and his supporters would want in terms of doing what I don't think Albert Brewer was going to let George do it. I'll leave it that way. Lurleen Wallace, she did two things for the state of Alabama. The first thing she did, the only thing she really did independently as governor, was work very hard to improve state mental health. The mental hospital in Alabama was basically Abu Ghraib at the time. It was a barracks-style, naked people on the cement floor, without treatment. Really horrible. And she worked to get funding increased and actually went and toured with a press entourage, went and toured this horrible mental hospital and got aware. She increased awareness. I hate that word, but she did. She increased awareness as to what was really going on there. And then the other thing she did is she died. And she did that for the state of Alabama. Really wound up throwing a monkey wrench in everyone's plans, because the whole plan was that George would just run again, and that he could be governor for life as long as he ran his wife every 3 terms. I think there's a lesson in that for all of us, that one should never vote for the spouse, because it can unexpected things can happen. And we all may have an opportunity to vote for Hillary Clinton in the general election. We don't know yet, but I'm not going to vote for her thinking that I'm voting for Bill, because that's not the way it is. Anyway, but we are gonna. A lot of us are gonna vote tomorrow. My California friends, my Illinois friends, my New Jersey friends, my Alabama and I think Georgia friend. Georgia, I think, is voting tomorrow. I have to get a list of the 20 states. I'm going to have to do that for Crooks anyway, I think, this afternoon. So, 2 other things. One is Salon tonight. We'll see you then, 9 Eastern, on Skype. And tomorrow is, in addition to being Super Tuesday, is Day of Shame, which is something that the Corrente folks are putting together. It is the anniversary of Colin Powell's address to the United Nations, which vast left of Corrente says is the day the music died. It's really the day when lies convinced the New York Times and a lot of us that, maybe we do need to go to war. And it really is a very bad day in American history. So, something that the blogosphere is going to be commemorating. I'm going to be commemorating at Blue Gal, and it's really it's something we need to remember and never forget. Blog Roll Amnesty Day was great yesterday. Got a lot of new blogs on my blog roll, and had a great time corresponding with a lot of people. Got a lot of emails from people who I hadn't heard from before, who wanted me to look at their blogs, and that was fun. And a lot of talent out there. Really enjoyed that. We'll look forward to doing that every year. Okay, Salon tonight. We'll see you then. And just have a great day. Thanks. Bye.